Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are so excited you're here. I am Nikki McCutchen. I will be your host this evening. We are just getting to talk about an amazing technology that we are truly watching change people's lives. And so we are just thrilled every time that we get to share this with you. And so thank you for coming on tonight. The call will be for about 30 minutes. And I'm going to start with our medical disclaimer. So all LifeWave products are not intended to treat, cure, diagnose, or prevent any dis-ease. If you are pregnant or nursing or on medications, just like with embarking on any diet or fitness program, we always recommend that you check with your preferred healthcare practitioner first. So with that, we're going to dive into talking about this amazing little technology that looks like a Band-Aid. Truly, it's a modern day miracle of giving our bodies access to something that is just no longer working. That's what's amazing. So this technology is actually FDA compliant as a general wellness product. It's a class 1 medical device, completely non-transdermal. What that means is there's nothing passing from the center of this patch into your body. Most people are used to a patch that is transmitting something. So something is passing into your body. So a nicotine patch, an estrogen patch, a vitamin patch, those all put something into the body. This does not work like that. It is sealed on both sides with medical grade plastic. The adhesive is hypoallergenic and it has a 96% effectiveness rate, which is what is so totally amazing about this technology. What that tells you is that it's always working in the body, whether you feel something or not. So most companies out there would give anything to have a 96% effectiveness rate. So a lot of times when you're dealing in the natural health space, you're dealing with a lot of supplements or even injections or different things like that that are helping to support your body and putting something into your body that you need. But there's a process that your body goes through in order to utilize whatever you're putting in it exogenously from the outside that's going in. This bypasses all of that process. So the absorption process, the grabbing onto it and then transporting it, and then for cells to be able to absorb it and then also use it and utilize it out to where it needs to go. This bypasses all of that, turning on different peptides in the body that the body will then just automatically turn on. So it works like a light switch in your house. You just flip the switch by putting on this patch, and it can be over the tops of your clothes. It doesn't, again, because it's non-transdermal, there's nothing passing into the skin. So it can be on your clothes, or it can be on the skin. Again, nothing transmitting in there. But that is what's so amazing about this technology, is that it bypasses that whole natural your body's process of breaking something down and then being able to utilize it. Most people have breakdown along the way. It's why, like with supplementation, they're looking for over 30% effectiveness rate. That's what they're trying to get to put a supplement on the market so that people can use it. So that's a huge difference between 30, 45, even 50% and 96%. Huge difference. Now, here's another amazing thing. We have this supplement. Okay. So this is our Celergize Morning that has been specifically designed to support everything that your body needs. Most people are deficient in what is in this Celergize Morning product. Okay. So what happens with this is that there's nothing else again on the market that's like this, just like with this patch, there's nothing else like this. With this, you can buy all of these ingredients individually, okay? But this is going to be much cheaper to buy it all in here to help support your body. Now, here's the really amazing thing, is that we just won last year the Biotech Award of the Year. So very prestigious award. There's over 15 countries that place entries. Your products have to be novel. And we won the Stem Cell Technology Award of the Year. And it was the combination of these two together. What happens with that is then we have 100% effectiveness rate in our body of elevating GHK copper peptide. So, and getting our regenerative cells up and going and supporting our body to do whatever our body so deems necessary. So that is amazing. So this is tried and tested. Again, we just won a worldwide award on these technologies together so you can be sure that it's always working. Even if you decide not to utilize this, but you just want to use this patch, again, 96% effectiveness rate, which is truly remarkable. So let's talk about what would we compare this to? Because again, I'm saying there's nothing else on the market that you can get that does what this does. A comparison, yet not a great comparison, is a stem cell injection. Okay, so if people have looked at stem cell injections, they know those are thousands and thousands of dollars. And when you go in to get one, what do they tell you? They say, we have no idea if it will work for you or not. And so you're going to be out thousands and thousands of dollars. What you paid for those stem cell injections, you can be on multiple years of this technology. So we're talking pennies on the dollar to actually give you a 96% effectiveness rate, always working in the body, turning on those master cells, those regenerative cells that your body can then use to go anywhere and do anything. It's not like an injection in your shoulder or in your knee where you're trying to target a specific area. Your body is what is wonderfully and fearfully made and created in such a way that when you utilize from the base your own human GHK copper peptide, turn that on like a light switch, your body uses it how it was already intended versus having to go through a process of how it's going to utilize whatever you're putting in it exogenously by a shot or by supplementation. So that is truly remarkable. Now, I'm saying all this, but like, where's your proof, Nikki, right? Like, where's the proof? 90 clinical studies, over 90 clinical studies and counting. We just had another one come out just like a month ago that was released, another fantastic study proving our technology, it does what it says it does. Also, over 200 patents and counting. So our amazing inventor and founder, David Schmidt, spent over 10 years in the lab doing stem cell research to come up with this amazing technology. And again, it's why we have the patents. It's why we are protected. It's why there's no other thing on the market that will do what this technology does. You can go and see all of those patents and clinical studies. If you're a nerd like me and you want to deep dive into the science, patchtheway.com, PATCH, theway.com. You'll click the button in the bottom left. It will pull up a screen. It will say, enter the passcode light. You enter that passcode, and then across the top will open up those studies and patents for you to deep dive into that research, and even the research on GHK copper peptide that was found over 50 years ago. So once again, when you look at the research on GHK copper peptide, what we're talking about is very scientifically sound in 50 years of showing what GHK copper peptide does in the body. So you can see that as well on there from that scientist that found that GHK copper peptide in the body. So that's the peptide that X39 turns on like a light switch in the body, turning that on. How does it turn it on? So I'm going to tell you a big word. You don't have to remember it. It's not important that you know it, but it will make sense once I pull it all together for you. So how does it work? Through a process called photobiomodulation, which is just a big word for light making change in the body. You actually already understand what that is. It's because when you go out into the sun and the sun hits your skin and your eyes, it tells your body to make vitamin D. That vitamin D then goes and does what it was already designed to do in the body. The sun is just the light switch for that in the body to be turned on. Now, with this technology, you don't have to have the sun because our body becomes the light source or the heat source. Okay. So again, I know that sounds crazy, but you're going to understand what I explained. So when you're watching a movie and you're looking through night vision goggles and they're talking about seeing a heat signature and you see all those different colors, that's how you know, yes, it is heat, but it's coming from light. All those colors are the light source that comes out of our body on the infrared level that we don't see with the naked eye. That infrared light hits the center of this patch, which is made in a crystal lattice structure with organic amino acids and salts that is reflective like a mirror. It hits the center of that patch at a very specific wavelength of light then from that crystal lattice structure is now put back into the body, signaling like a light switch, turning on GHK copper peptide. That peptide is classified as the fountain of youth in the body. Again, 50 years of research on what it does in the body, and it's truly remarkable. I'm only going to talk to you about 5 things. It does supports over 80 different systems and body functions in the body. So this is why it's considered the fountain of youth, because it does so many things. The first thing is that it turns on those master regenerative cells in the body that your body can use. They go anywhere and do anything your body so desires. So understand, all of the work that's happening is your body. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. We are created in such a way that like our inventor and founder, he has studied how we have been created, and he's developed technologies that will support that divine design. It's why we get these amazing results left and right of different things that people have happen, because your body decides what you need and where you need the support. And that is where the brilliance is. So when those master cells are turned back on, now, why do they need to be turned back on? Because by the time we're 30, half of our master cells are no longer working. By the time we're 60, only 10% are any longer working on our behalf. So between 30 and 60, you can think about your own life or people that you know, aches, pains, illness, disease, all of these things start to set in and people start to have issues. So it's because those master cells they're aging. They're just no longer working in the body. So David Schmidt found a way to turn that back on so that they would continue to work as if we were in our 20s. Okay, so resetting our body to a younger, healthier state. Now, we're not talking about something that can go rogue or can mutate in a way that would be bad or unhealthy for our body. This resets 4,000 genes to a younger, healthier state. Okay, so that's an important note if you're trying to understand anything with rogue cells, is that once those genes are reset, then your body has the support they need to do what they need to do in a positive way for the body. Okay, so it's turning it on in that way, in that functionality for supporting your body. The next thing is your cardiovascular system. Supported from the mitochondrial level. So your entire heart, your blood vessels, the lining of your blood vessels. This is very common. I see people all the time with different symptomology, things going on with their heart, and I see them have amazing results and support for their body to just reset to a younger, healthier state to when they didn't have those issues. So brain support. So your cognition, your ability to think well, your brain clarity, anxiety or depression, and how you feel and in your mood. So all of those things begin to balance out as well. And so we can see through our clinical studies that those things kind of start to happen at about 6 weeks. I would say that's true for me. I definitely saw the clarity issues that I was having. I would ask my kids questions and I would remember asking, but I didn't remember their answers. And so you just start chalking things up to aging and you don't know what else to do. So I guess I'm just getting old. And to have that reset to a younger, healthier state, remembering names, remembering conversations, just remembering like I did when I was younger, I am so very, very thankful. If that was the only thing this technology had done for me, I would never stop using it. Because here's the deal. If I don't have something to turn that GHK copper peptide back on, my body is only going in one direction. There's no other thing out there that like this technology that can turn that back on. So my body is only going down the path of aging. Okay. I want to be as vital and as vivacious as I can be for as many days that the Lord leaves me here on this earth. And so I will continue to wear this technology because there's nothing else you can do for your body that will turn those back on in that way, resetting 4,000 genes. That's the other thing that you have to remember is that there are things that will reset genes. Like if we're talking about resveratrol, which is in grapes. Okay. So eating grapes on a daily basis helps to reset two genes, okay, which is great. Like I love grapes. I'm happy to eat grapes, no problem. But are you kidding me? 4,000? What? There's literally nothing else that compares to that, okay? So I want my body functioning as highly functional as it can and having access to everything it needs to regenerate and to do whatever it needs for my body to have support. Fourth thing is your collagen. Most people just think that's hair, skin, and nails, which is great. Like if we can get some amazing support for our hair, skin, and nails and have that too, yes, please, thank you. From turning it on from the base, again, turning it on internally. But here's the thing. Collagen is actually the glue that holds our body together. So ligaments, tendons, fascia, the lining of all of your organs, okay? When you put those two things, master regenerative cells and your collagen, resetting to a younger, healthier state, resetting 4,000 genes that have function in collagen and master cells, resetting that, it's why people get just across the board amazing results, because you're talking about full body systems. Okay. So obviously, even like the cardiovascular system, the neurological system, those are very specific to what they do. Master cells and collagen are literally everywhere, everywhere. Okay, so I'm supporting those along with the fact that I get the bump for my cardiovascular system and my brain on top of the other two. Okay, so truly remarkable. Also, your immune system. We all want to have a good immune system. It's what keeps away illness and disease. So not just colds and flus and things like that, but having our immune system, whatever toxicity, whatever issue it's dealing with, to have my body have the capability to detoxify it properly, to move it out of the body, to say, this is not good for me and I need to move this out. So I want that immune system working at its highest possible capacity. And the technology has a compounding effect. Okay. So the longer you wear it, the more it's going to allow your body to reset, to regenerate, to improve things that have broken down and that are no longer working properly. I've been using it now for over 3 years. I continue to feel like my skin, I looks even better. Like you're just thinking, okay, I'm good. Like my skin is good. And I'm thinking, oh, I actually think it may even look a little bit better than it did a year ago, which is crazy, crazy to me. So, and just how we feel and how, like, I used to always have back issues. My back would go out and I would be down for 30 days. And so once I started using this technology, that was another thing. Was the first time it went out when I was using the technology, I was thinking, oh my goodness, I used a bunch of the technology all where I was hurting on my back. 5 days. 5 days, I was completely back to normal. That blew me out of the water. If it was 5 days every single time, I would still be a thankful person. But that's not the case. The next time it went out a couple months later, I was thinking, oh, Lord, please let it just be 5 days. Can it please just be 5 days? 24 hours later, like it had never gone out, and remember, like I was like, the only thing I could do was walk and I was in pain constantly. Okay. For 30 days for me to just get back to being able to do anything normal. It was crazy. The next time it went out, I was down working in the garden. I was sitting there and on my hands and knees and just praying, Lord, somehow let me get up from here because Chad will not come find me. My husband will not know that I am in the yard and I haven't come in from being out in the yard. I'm going to be stuck out here. So anyway, I just was like, okay, took a deep breath, and literally it just went away. It just went away. And from that day, it has not come back. Like it has never been that way in that form. I will feel it trying to go out and it just doesn't ever go out in that way. It's truly so that is that compounding effect, regeneration that's taking across the board, because I had back issues when I was young and an athlete in college and in high school. And I would have issues with my back, but I was still competing. I would go to the chiropractor, have him adjust me, and I would keep competing. So that's what I'm talking about, resetting to a younger, healthier state. I'm no longer down and out. I can still do the things that I want to do. So yes, it is. Praise the Lord, 100%. I am so very thankful for this technology. And it's why I want everyone to know about it. And that's the importance of investing in your health. Here's the bottom line. You can either invest in your health or you can invest in your illness. Those are two choices we all make, whether we realize we're making them or not. Okay. Investment in your health takes a conscious effort in what that looks like, because we are literally bombarded with toxins every single day. And we have to work at seeing that and realizing that educating ourselves, giving ourselves the knowledge, maneuvering, making different food choices, making different water choices, making different exercise choices. Okay. But that is the bottom line, is that if you are not investing in your health, consciously making an effort to change or to do some things that will support your body in the way that it was designed, then what you need to understand is you are investing in your illness. And you didn't even think you make that choice, but you are making one of those two choices every single day. So this is something that is truly an investment in your health that changes things dramatically. I'm always going to tell you to drink good water, to eat good food, to exercise. I'm always going to be an advocate for that. That is my background. That is what I support in helping people do those kinds of things. This technology is nuts because I watch people who do none of those things and they still have benefit. And I would tell you, under every single other circumstance, that is not possible. And so that is what's crazy about this. I always want you to make those other good, healthy choices, but I know this is so simple and so easy and costs less than a cup of coffee a day for you to be able to begin to reset your body. And especially when you will commit to long-term. So 6 to 12 months, go back and give yourself enough time on the technology so that you can see what it's going to do for you. And even if you don't feel anything, you have to give it time to go back into the doctor, have that regular blood work done. You will see changes. I've never seen one person that has consistently, okay, that's a big important word, consistently worn the technology for 6 to 12 months that has not seen changes in their regular checkups with their doctor, the blood work they do and the testing that they do. They just happen because, again, we're resetting the body to a younger, healthier state. And when you're investing in turning on GHK copper peptide, that's what it does. It's the fountain of youth. That's what it does, is help to support your body in that way. So hydration is key. So I was chatting with somebody today, again, the conversation, well, I just am not feeling anything. I'm not noticing anything. So when do you go back into the doctor? Do you have regular blood work done? Do you take electrolytes? So the electricity between the cells is what allows our cells to communicate back and forth. So that happens through sodium, potassium, magnesium, having those in balance. Most people are out of balance in those things. That is why they're in here. That is why David Schmidt has put them in a balance to support the body so that the cells can talk to each other. Okay. So that's super helpful, along with the copper. So I was asking her, told her, go, the next time you go in, ask them to check your copper. If it's not something they normally test for, let's see if in balance. That's the other thing, is that then use ChatGPT. And I haven't done this, so that may not be a great idea, but if you don't have a functional medicine doctor or functional medicine friend, make that a goal this year. Get a friend, get a functional medicine, so that you can know what the numbers are, because standard allopathic medicine, which is American medicine, that kind of care has levels that they look at, that they say, you're healthy, there's nothing wrong with you. Okay. Functional medicine, okay, that operates in what will optimize the body, has numbers that are optimized. Where do we look at to help support your body in a way that's going to allow your body to function the way that you want it to, so that you feel good? Okay. Most of us go into the doctor with this and they tell us that we're good. And we're sitting there saying, but I don't feel good. I'm not good. And they're like, well, all your numbers are fine. That's where functional medicine, natural health practitioners come in, to let you know what the optimization is on that. Hopefully ChatGPT, you could type that in and say, what would a functional medicine doctor say? Like, how are these numbers optimized? And just play with that and see. So yeah, Leslie's saying, I agree. Absolutely. It's so important. So, and Leslie is a fantastic massage therapist, so she gets it. So she's saying yes. Yes, please do that. So hydration is key. Consider wearing this for 6 to 12 months. And hopefully you're going to, just like me, you're going to say, I'm going to have a patch on my body until Jesus comes back to get me, because there's nothing else that's going to reset your body to a younger, healthier state and have that compounding effect in that way. Like, I see that over a long period of time when people change their diet and they exercise, just from a health standpoint of feeling better, of having more energy, of sleeping better, those kinds of things. But when you're talking about but your body is still going down that natural aging process. You might slow it down with good diet and exercise, which you're going to feel better. So that's what you want. But to reverse it, we're not just talking about anti-aging. We are truly talking about age reversal. Okay, that's what resetting 4,000 genes gets you for that. So, what questions can I answer? Feel free to type them in the chat, or you can come on and ask your questions. That's what we're here for. We're here to help. We're here to answer your questions. So,
I have a question, Nikki.
great.
Um, how does the body know how much of a particular frequency you can take or use?
Wow. That's an interesting question. Um, right? Because, like, okay, so let's just put our thinking caps on. So, if we're talking about frequency from a microwave, frequency from 5G, frequency from all of these electromagnetic waves that are around us that are like electrical stagnation for the body, okay, causing interference in the body. Those all are creating problems. So what you see is that our bodies should be able to naturally adjust to that kind of frequency toxicity. Okay, so we have that. So giving the body the ability to have frequency that it's utilizing that is supportive. So that happens like through the earth. The earth has a frequency to it. So when we're grounding or we're doing those things, that's what we were created to jive with. Like that's what we're created, to move off of those types of frequencies. So there's constantly this toxicity frequency. Food all has frequency. So like when you think about, the sun is is growing our food and what we eat, that's good quality, healthy food. What the sun is then causing to, create and allow that food to grow, that all has frequency to it, frequency that should agree with our body. So when we're in some type of allergic state or food that doesn't resonate with us, that is grown well and grown in a way that would be supportive to the body, then we know that there's been some type of interference to where now that would be something that we need to figure out how to detoxify, because that food should be healthy for us. Now, not food that's sprayed with things that are not good for us. Okay. So that's, we want food and that's what's crazy, right? When we get right down to it, you go down the rabbit hole, and the only way for us to really have that really super high quality food is if we're growing it ourselves and not spraying it with stuff. So I do buy a lot of things from local farmers around here that I know that are into regenerative farming, because I want all of that good, healthy frequency that's coming from that food. And so that's important for our bodies. So our body is going to utilize that, and it will matter as to how much it can handle and then what the reaction is. And are we giving it enough to be able to handle whatever toxic types of frequencies that we're exposed to as well. So it's really all a matter of what you're around versus how much the body's going to decide what it can and can't tolerate. The nice thing is about this technology is there's no way for it's all your own body. So even the light is coming from your own body, and the frequency that's being reflected back in is your own body. So your body is only going to give it what it's going to be supportive for it as well, which again is the genius of this technology. So just even being able to have that, your body's ability to move in and detoxify other frequencies that are coming in that we're exposed to, because there's a lot of people that are very sensitive to those things, and their body has a breakdown in that way. And so this technology is only always going to be supportive, again, because it's all what's your own body. It's all only your own body and helping support that. So yes, amazing question. I've never really thought through that, Pastor Ed. So y'all got a little bit of my talk through what that might look like. So any other questions we can answer for you?
Well,
Anybody tonight?
listening to your podcast was really, really good that you did with Doctor and Heather. What it was called? I forgot.
Oh, yes. So the professor and Heather
Professor.
Ann. Yes,
Yes.
so he is a professor at UCLA. Yes, and or was a professor at UCLA, and it was he and his wife that had put together a podcast. So yeah, you can always go find us on the professor and Heather Ann. They invited me on to just share about this technology, share what they've seen it do for them, and of course, because he, is a science professor at UCLA, extremely skeptical, right? Like
Oh
when
yeah.
she wants me to put on a band-aid and it's going to do what, so yeah, so very, very skeptical, but he definitely, dove into the science, asked me some questions about some of the studies and some things like that. And so it's all there. And the body of evidence, really and truly, if we're going to really talk about the body of evidence, let's talk about the fact that the company's been around for over 20 years. Okay, so even though, yes, we have the science backing that we need, we have the double placebo controlled studies that we need. We have some of those as well. So we have all of that. But let's not forget, so many times people just want to shove to the side 20 years of people getting results. Your your product cannot do what it says it's going to do if you don't have the results for your people. We have 20 years of this kind of technology doing that for people, doing it for the Navy SEALs, doing it for the Olympic teams, doing it for professional. I just listened to another video today from a uh, number one track champion in the world for years. He competed against Michael Johnson, Michael Johnson. His name isn't going to, he's got a cool name and it's not going to come to me. It's a really cool name. Anyway, he was just talking about how the technology is helping him. And now he's going to get out and compete at, basically the professional athlete level at 45 to 50. So that's just it, is that if this technology can help professional athletes, it's also going to be supportive for us everyday people and how it's going to help us. So those are people that are completely optimizing everything they do, their sleep, their diet, their exercise, everything is completely optimized to the nth degree from all of their choices. Whereas the rest of us, pain, aches, whatever, all this stuff, yeah. It's going to benefit us too. So everything in between. So anybody else have a question?
I have one. Is it good
Awesome,
for
Tom.
diabetic? Is it good for
So we
diabetic?
never, like I said at the beginning, we don't ever talk about, treating, curing, diagnosing any type of disease. But David
Right.
Schmidt, that was one of the things as far as like when you're talking about like the sores that happen on people's bodies. So again, extreme cases, okay, where those sores come up on the body to where he's run studies to where those are closing because people will have those for years when they have that type of condition, and those will finally close within a few months, a few weeks, like it just depends on the person. But then obviously, if it's able to do that, again, helping the collagen, helping the skin, helping the scar, remodeling, all of that kind of stuff, if it's helping all of that, it has to be helping internally. So yeah, I've seen people that even like going in and getting their, A1C checked and their insulin levels. I've seen all of those things balancing out to where people have reduced their injections or been able to step away from those because they're back in balance. So their doctor's like, well, you really don't need to keep doing this because their body and again, it's all the body. This technology is only the light switch. It's your body that does all that. So yes, yeah, we do have things like that, Tom. But we are regulated as a general wellness product only, so we can't make any medical claims.
Right, I understand.
Yeah. Anything else?
And Nikki, I'll ask a question.
Awesome.
If someone doesn't know if they have the right supplementation in their body, should they just go into it not thinking about that aspect and just trusting that the patch is going to regulate what it needs to as
Yeah.
far as supplementation?
You certainly can. I mean, obviously I'm coming at it from a full body perspective, and just like this technology is a tool in the toolbox to help you optimize your health. And it's literally like when I listen to doctors and other healthcare practitioners talk about this technology, it is what gets people farther, faster than anything else they've used in their toolbox. So it is a tool in the toolbox still. Okay. So finding out, where you are in those levels, working with a good practitioner that can run the tests to be able to tell you, if there are some imbalances going on in the body with your nutrients and your absorption of nutrients and things like that. But yes, certainly you can. I'm still going to want you to figure out those things as well, because that's only going to make this technology work better too. Once those are balanced. That's what's nice about this too, is it a little bit takes the guesswork out of it. You can just add this to your routine, because most people are deficient in multiple things that are in here. And so that's nice too, is that you can add that in the morning, and just to have a supportive, support. But yeah, I'm always going to encourage people, test, don't guess, go ahead and test to figure out what support your body needs, and trying to figure that out to, truly optimize. Like that's why we have this technology. This is about health optimization. It's not about just health survival. So does it help people have just health survival because they feel so much better and they're getting so much better? Yeah. Like I watch it all the time, but I am a huge proponent of health optimization in every way. So yeah, I hope that answered your question.
Yes, it did. Perfect. Thank you.
Last question,
Absolutely.
Nikki.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so everybody's different, and everybody's body reacts because according to whatever toxins or is going on people's body. Now, some people, and especially older people, they don't like to drink water. Any creative ideas that you can help us to let us know how we can get people to hydrate better?
Yeah, absolutely. And that is a huge problem. And most people, especially over the age of 50, are walking around chronically dehydrated. That's huge. And it's also because they've established a pattern in their lives, as well as the fact that they're worried about having to run to the bathroom all the time or going to the bathroom at night all the time. So one way to try to mitigate that is to drink water about every 15 to 30 minutes, taking 1 or 2 big gulps of water. So about 5 ounces of water every, 15 to 30 minutes, and just carrying, water with you, everywhere you go throughout the day, so that you can do that every 15 to 30 minutes. Now, the first week or so, you are still going to be running to the bathroom, but your body is going to adjust, and then you will be able to go a lot longer. That's the other amazing thing with this technology, is that especially like I've seen it a lot with men. I saw it with myself. I saw it with my husband, where we're getting up at night, multiple times to go to the bathroom, especially men. I literally just patched a guy not just a few weeks ago. First couple of nights. Now, again, everybody's body's different. So if you don't have it right away, don't think, oh, well, this didn't work for me. That's not the case. But literally within like the night he started using it, he got up one night, and then the rest of the nights one time he hasn't got up at all. He's sleeping through the night. I mean, your body will regulate all of that. So, but the hydration is key. So just start carrying water with you. Use some good high quality electrolytes as well early on in the morning, which is why we have Cellergize in the morning. So helping you get those electrolytes in early, again, to help mitigate so you're not having to get up and go to the bathroom at night. My husband and I rarely have to get up and go to the bathroom in the middle of the night anymore. So yeah, that's huge. So hopefully that helps with the hydration. It's just, again, it's about investing in your health and making a very small, inexpensive change in what you do every single day. So even if it's like, just pick something new once a month. What am I going to add to my health regimen this month that's going to help me? So the water, I mean, that's just, going to be an easy, not cost you, anything, which is amazing. So that may be something you try to adopt is, okay, what at the beginning of the month, when you're on a Sunday or whatever, when you don't have a lot to do, just take a minute to think, what do I want to add this month that will be an investment in my health? And like I said, there's lots of those things that don't have to necessarily cost you anything, but this is by far the cheapest, most inexpensive, thing that I have ever seen to support somebody's body across the board. And then adding that water to it is going to be huge for the technology as well. So let's see. Linda says she adds Celergize to her glass of water. Yep, perfect. That's what we're all doing. Yes, it's fantastic. So Tom, did you have another question?
That's all. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Yes. Anybody else? Otherwise we'll close it out. Well, thank you all so much for being here this evening. You are so blessed that you chose to take 30 minutes out of your schedule to take time with us and learn about this technology. Please make sure that you get back with the person who invited you to the call. If you haven't started yet, please just tell them that you are ready to get started. Like, let's go ahead and get started. Make this the day that you decide it's time to invest in your health instead of invest in your sickness. So with that, we pray blessing over each and every one of you. Good night, everybody. Have a great evening. Come back next Monday and join us again. Invite a friend.
Good night. God
Night.
bless.
Bye,
God
Nikki.
bless.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.